Big news, folks, following his disastrous and completely failed legal efforts to get full royal armed protection in the UK, which has cost him $2 million, Prince Harry has confirmed that his next official visit to Britain will not be until, wait for it, July 2027 for the Invictus Games in Birmingham. You heard me right. July 2027. That is when the prodigal prince, the runaway traitorous Prince Harry, will be returning to his country of birth. July 2027. Now, it's currently June 2025. That is over 2 years from now. That is the level of hatred and invective coming from this man towards the United Kingdom, the country that gave him everything. Now, July 2027, over 2 years from now, did Prince Harry not get the memo that his father, King Charles, a magnificent human being, is currently battling cancer? That's right. Charles is in his late 70s. He's battling cancer. The poor man will not be with us forever. And yet Harry is quite happy to go on record as saying, oh, the next time I'll be in Britain is July 2027. Well, Harry, you can only pray to our higher power that your poor old man is still in reasonable shape in 2 years' time. Let's not forget, Harry himself is a man that has openly speculated about his father's life expectancy by going on the BBC and giving that traitorous interview in which he said, I don't know how long my father's got. I don't know how long my father's got. What a terrible thing to consign your father with an effective death sentence, making those remarks on national television. Quite shocking, but that's Harry, who has sunk to a new low. Now he announces that he won't be here for another couple of years. I mean, it's good news for us here in the UK because we don't have to put up with a visit from the world's least happy millionaire. Humpy-dumpy-dumpy-dum. I'm Prince Harry, world's least happy millionaire. Humpy-dumpy-dumpy-dum. I live in a massive mansion in Montecito with 16 bathrooms. I'm one of the most famous men in the world. I've got a few $1 million in my bank account, but I'm dead miserable. Humpy-dumpy-dumpy-dum. Quite shocking. So he's going to come to the UK in July 2027. That means 2 years in which he won't be seeing his father and attending to him. Charles isn't well. Cancer is a serious illness. Mercifully, Princess Catherine has beaten it. It's in remission. Of course, you know as well as I do, cancer never really goes away. In a sense, it's in all of us. We all have cancer cells. And Catherine has certainly sent that disease into remission. It seems like she's in great shape. She looks incredible. She was at the Victoria and Albert Museum this week looking absolutely stunning. A very fine lady, nearly as beautiful as Mrs. Dolan, and nearly as beautiful as all of the female viewers of the Mark Dolan Show, who are the most gorgeous viewers on planet Earth. You are all babes. And let me tell you, the male viewers of the Mark Dolan Show, distinguished gentlemen of high caliber and quality. The Mark Dolan Show, we are building the biggest community of like-minded, intelligent, smart, wise people who won't tolerate any BS, especially if it comes from humpy-dumpy-dumpy-dump, the world's least happy millionaire, Prince Harry, and my miserable life. So he's not going to see his father, on paper at least, according to the diary, he's not going to see Charles for another 2 years and 1 month. Will we still have King Charles in 2 years, 1 month? You know what life is like. Any of us could go tomorrow. You could go under a bus. Of course you could. But this is a guy that has not prevailed over the cancer. Can we just be clear about that? This programme, the Mark Dolan Show, will never speculate about the King's health in the way that Harry so egregiously did on that BBC interview. We won't speculate about the details of his health or his privacy, but what we will say is he still has cancer. That's a matter of public record. It's an awful disease. And if you've had it for a year to 2 years and you're still battling it and you're in your late 70s, it's not great, is it? It's not fantastic news. Of course, cancer treatment's incredible, especially if you're the king of the United Kingdom. You have the best doctors, the best oncologists. No problem with that. So that's good. He'll have great treatment. But, you know, it's a disease that he's... And so Harry is quite comfortable for his next diary appointment in a visit to the UK to be July 2027, which is 2 2 years and one month from now, if my father was in another country battling cancer, I wouldn't wait 2 years and 1 month. I wouldn't wait 1 month. I wouldn't wait a day. I would be there now, attending to my father who's battling cancer, because that's what you do. Your father brings you into the world. He guides you. He teaches you. He's your best friend. He's your task master. He's your role model. He's all of those things and more. And by the way, if that's not enough, Harry's father is the leader of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, whose mother was Queen Elizabeth II. But Harry can't be bothered to take a short flight from Montecito over to London. I've been looking at flights because the Mark Dolan show is broadcasting live from the United States at the end of June, the end of this month. I will be coming to America for 3 weeks. I'll be covering New York, Washington, D.C., Yosemite National Park, Yosemite! I will be in Death Valley, where I'll probably listen to the audiobook of Spare just to cheer myself up and bring a cold chill into the car as I drive along. I will be in San Francisco. Oh dear, I've used the same tune as Montecito. I think we need to bring in a melody maker for this show. I'll be in San Francisco. I'll be in the Napa Valley. I will be in California. I'll be in Montecito. And actually a flight from LAX, Los Angeles Airport, to Gatwick in London, which isn't really London. Have you noticed how the airports do this? They put the name of the city that you are hoping to travel to next to the name of the airport, except it's like another town 50 miles away. So it's London brackets Gatwick. It's not London. It's Gatwick, which is in, I think it's in, who cares where it is? It's not in London. Gatwick Airport. London Gatwick is not London. It's Surrey. Jokers. Seriously. If I was in charge, I would change their name. And if they didn't agree to it, I would shut them down. Do you know what I'd do? Do you know what I would do? I would take them down. And I would take them down to Chinatown. London Gatwick is not in London. It's in Gatwick, which is not in London. Anyway, look, you get my point. I checked out a flight from LAX to London Gatwick with Norse Airways, who I think could easily sponsor the show. Who would you like to sponsor the show? Let me know in the comments. We're going to get a sponsor. Who would you like me to advertise? Because whoever it is, I'll be vetting them that it's the finest product, because only the best for the growing community. There's the Mark Dolan Show, which has a simple goal, by the way. Our goal is simple: to be the #1 talk show on the planet. The Mark Dolan Show has a simple goal to be the #1 talk show in the world. That is our stated goal. I can't do it without you, and I will do it with you. So anyway, I worked out $200 LAX to London Gatwick, which isn't in London. That's not bad, is it? $200 to travel all those thousands of miles. Harry could travel coach, as the Americans say. He could travel economy. And what does Harry have to bring with him? He doesn't need like a lot of bags like Kim Kardashian, does he? He can take a small holdall, like a little rucksack, because the guy is not sartorially elegant. He's not an interestingly dressed man. And now that he doesn't represent any military roles or anything, he's not the patron of anything. He's not even the patron of his own household. Then Harry won't have to bring uniforms or anything like that. He can just bring a couple of pairs of shorts and a t-shirt, and he's good to go. So why doesn't he fly to the United Kingdom now to be with his father? Why is he going to wait quite literally 2 years and 1 month? Also, he's announced he's coming to London, the UK, I should say. He's going to Birmingham, which is England's second city. Lovely place. It's in the Midlands. It's very different to Birmingham, Alabama. It's gorgeous. It's got loads of history. It's very diverse. Lots of industry. I like Birmingham. They make a few cars there. It's decent. But it's not where King Charles lives. King Charles lives in... Where does King Charles live? Buckingham Palace, which is in London town. So will Harry just go to Birmingham, which is in the Midlands, couple of hundred miles away from London, will he then go straight back to Montecito? It's possible that he will snub his father altogether. I can't be sure, and the Mark Dolan show cannot confirm or stand up the idea that Harry, the H-bomb, my husband, will actually visit his father even in 2 years' time and 1 month. So that's 2 years guaranteed not to be with his father and 2 years guaranteed not to be with his brother, William, who is barely on speaking terms with Harry. It doesn't help that they are never together in the same place. And if I was William, I know what I would do, which is I would be furious with Harry. I wouldn't forgive him. But if Harry reached out to me and said, I'm really sorry, and tried to build bridges and had clear actions that demonstrated he'd changed his ways and his mindset and his attitude, then there's always room for hope. And I'll tell you for why, because blood is thicker than water. Admittedly, nothing is thicker than Harry, who is as thick as two short planks. Should we be honest about that? But there's always hope for reconciliation. But it ain't going to happen if Harry isn't in the United Kingdom for another 2 years and 1 month. That is 2 years and a month in which all that hatred, all that resentment, all that anger can continue to ferment within the royal household. You see, Harry's still in that window where there's probably room for forgiveness from William and Charles. But 2 years is a long time. A week is a long time. A day is a long time. An hour is a long time. So Harry is living dangerously by announcing that he'll be in the UK in 2 years and 1 month's time, at which point, may God forbid, his father could be gravely ill. May God double forbid his father may have passed. I don't think so. I pray not. But you've got to think like this. You might think it's inappropriate for me to say that. But if you're Harry over there in Montecito, your father's battling cancer, you have to think like that. You're not going to go, he's got cancer, he'll be fine for the next 10 or 20 years. You can't think like that. It's like when one of my boys, I never name them because, you see, unlike Meghan, I'm not trying to make my kids famous, which is why we've given my boys the pseudonym. I have 2 boys. We'll call them Elton and Bernie. And if little Elton scratches his finger, I imagine the worst. I'm like, my goodness, he's going to get typhoid or something. He's going to get dysentery. He's going to get cholera. He's going to get polio. Do you still get polio? Am I the only one that misses polio? Should we bring it back? It was quite jolly, wasn't it? Polio is one of the upbeat diseases. Anyhow, look, I digress. What have they put in my decaf, by the way? No, the bottom line is that, when either of my sons, Elton or Bernie, if they scratch their finger, I'm worried it could be fatal. Because that's what you do when you love someone. When they're not well, you imagine the worst because you want to keep them on the planet because you love them. And I'm not sure that Harry loves his father anymore. I'm not sure that he loves his brother. On paper, he does. And he certainly did love his brother and his father. And he's talked about them in the book Spare, which I suffer with daily. I dip back into it. It's like the Bible for me, or the complete works of Shakespeare. Oh, God, it's painful to read. But I dip into it because we're talking about this guy on a daily basis. And I want to bring his essence into the show. And in some ways, I read the book. It gives him a right to reply because then I express what he's saying in the book on this show. And in the book, he talks about his love for his father and his brother. But he's got a strange way of showing it. And I think what's happened is that love has turned to hatred. He is now so poisonous. He's so bitter that, yes, I think he still loves his father and his brother. But there is now more poison than there is love. There's more hatred than there is love. There's more bitterness than there is love. And whose fault is that? How did Harry get so bitter and vicious and angry with the world? What happened, do you think? What was the big change? Who came into his life in not January, who knows what month it was, in 2017? Who came into his life? You stepped into my life and I'm oh so happy. Who stepped into his life in 2017? Who did he marry in 2018 that turned him against his family, his country, and his royal duties? My husband! That's it. He did it. So when he's in the UK, what's he going to do about his security? Because he doesn't have royal armed protection, and he said that he's got to have it in order to be safe in Britain. So what's he going to do in July 2027, 2 years and 1 month from now, to make himself safe? I suppose he'll bring the same SWAT team of mercenaries and soldiers and gangsters and security guards that he took to Colombia, because he had security there, didn't he, when he took a trip? Mexico, South Africa, Lesotho, Ukraine. He was in the Ukraine, and he's worried about his safety in Britain, which is the most peaceful country on planet Earth. I mean, it's so boring. Nothing happens here. You get sheep on the motorway, and that's headline news. Nothing's happening here, but Harry thinks that it's worse than Colombia, Mexico, South Africa, Lesotho, and the Ukraine, which is technically, I don't know if you knew about this, but it's technically at war. So Harry feels safer in Ukraine, which is at war, than he does in the UK, but he's worried about his safety. Make it make sense. Ukraine is at war thanks to naughty Vladimir Putin, who is a very naughty boy. He is a disgrace. And I was just preparing for the show this morning, and I did wonder, Vladimir Putin, he's so naughty. Old Vladivostok. I was wondering, disgraceful man that he is, who invaded an innocent country. But I did speculate, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, do you think he's in Team Wales or Team Sussex? Let me know in the comments. Putin, do you think he's in Team Wales or Team Sussex? I don't think Putin likes Prince Harry. Putting it out there now. I don't think he's a fan. I think Vladimir Putin would rather go out for dinner with Volodymyr Zelensky than moaning Prince Harry, going, I've got a terrible life, President Putin. I've only got 16 bathrooms and all my family are a bunch of racists. Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. And my uptight, stuck up American actress wife entered the royal family and married me, then didn't like being a royal, even though it was quite clear what the rules of engagement were. Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. Then we had a palace called Frogmore Cottage, which you can only dream of living in. It's bigger than the bloody Kremlin. We spent $2 million renovating it, but it wasn't good enough for Meghan because Catherine's house was bigger. Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. And Vladimir Putin's like, if this man tells me one more time about being the spare, I will do something I might regret. Even Vladimir Putin is having to exercise self-control whilst listening to Harry moaning about his terrible life. So there you go. Harry even went to China instead of the United Kingdom. He went to China flogging his allegedly eco-friendly travel firm. There is no environmentally friendly travel firm because travel is not environmentally friendly. Travel is not environmentally friendly. You see, if you go on an aeroplane or on a boat or in a car or on a choo-choo train, Harry, none of those things are environmentally friendly. You see, traveling is environmentally unfriendly. So you can't have a company which is designed to make traveling environmentally friendly because it's environmentally unfriendly to go anywhere beyond your front door, you prize royal numpty. I mean, who ever heard of starting a business that's designed to make traveling environmentally friendly? It is not possible. I'm traveling to the United States to do the Mark Dolan show every day for 3 weeks. I'll be going on a big airplane. And when I'm in America, I'll be on a choo-choo train. I'll be in a hire car. By the way, can I tell you about my hire car? I'll be hiring American. I won't be hiring a Toyota. I won't be hiring a Fiat. I won't be hiring a Honda or a Mazda. I'll be hiring American. If it's not a Ford or a General Motors machine, I'm out. I'll be hiring American. Because you see, that's what you do. When you travel, I think you adopt the local culture, and I think you eat the local cuisine and you use the local technology. I may well buy some American clothes when I'm out there. I might get some ties from Brooks Brothers in New York. Shall I do that? Probably cost me $11 million, but I might buy a tie from Brooks Brothers in the United States, where they do these great striped ties, these kind of military ties that I'm a big fan of. I'll be hiring American. I might go Ford. I mean, surely Fords are the best car because they were the first. The Model T Ford was the first mass production automobile, wasn't it? So they know what they're doing over at Ford. I'm not sure I'm going to risk life and limb in a Toyota when I can be safe and sound and fast and secure in a Ford. Would you like Ford to sponsor the show? Maybe Ford should sponsor the show. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to sponsor the show. I'll reach out. But if I lived in France, I would buy a Renault or a Citroën, pourquoi pas, le meilleure voiture du monde. If I was in Germany, I mean, that's not difficult, is it? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, das ist nicht schlecht. Mercedes have a saying, das Beste oder nicht, which means the best or nothing, which is characteristically uncompromising, a quality very well known to the Germans. I should know. So, brilliant. Anyhow, so there's no such thing as an environmentally friendly form of travel, but Harry went to China and put his face to an evil regime, which is not a democracy. I mean, he's at the Invictus Games moaning about the state of the world and division, and I think making subtle comments about the current incumbent of the White House, okay, who half of this audience love and half hate. The Mark Dolan show is where I bring everyone together. Because what we do is we're united around our incredulity about Harry and Meghan, my husband H. Because this show is there to bring the world together, right? But that's democracy, isn't it? You elect someone, some people like them, some people don't. Harry gets involved. He takes sides. And he's complaining about a great democracy like the United States. But then he goes to China and does business there to make money because, as I've mentioned in a previous video, the guy is flat broke. In Hollywood terms, Harry is broke. I promise you that. With the cost of security, the failed court cases, the schooling of the kids, the koi pond at their Montecito mansion, those guys don't have 2 cents to rub together, really. On paper, they got money. In reality, they ain't. So he went to China. So he makes a choice. He could go to the UK and visit his ailing father and say, Dad, I love you. I'm really sorry about everything. How can I support you through your cancer battle? Instead, he goes to China, which is an evil regime, which is the enemy of all democratic countries, isn't it? It is. And by the way, we have viewers in China. It's an incredible country with an amazing history, incredible food, great people. But I think you'll agree, I'm complaining about the governance of China. It's not a democracy. By definition, you can't like a government that hasn't been elected, I would suggest. But he goes there to this unscrupulous regime ahead of the UK. And by the way, I think there's a national security problem with him going to China because he lives in America and China is bad for America because China wants to basically take over the world, doesn't it? And be the predominant global superpower. Bad for the UK as well. Because China is very wedded to our telecommunications, to our energy sector. It's terrifying. It's a geopolitical threat. And Harry is quite happy to side with the Chinese and head over there to this illiberal, dangerous, unelected regime and be the face of it. That is a national security crisis. So Harry is coming to Britain in 2 years and 1 month. Can I let you into a secret, though? He misses Britain. It is his home. That's where his buddies are. That's where his ex-girlfriends are. Cressida Bonus and Chelsea Davy, 2 stunning girls. What a shame that he didn't marry either Cressida Bonus or Chelsea Davy, who are 2 very fine ladies with real class. We wouldn't have to have any of these debates about what Harry's going through at the moment if he'd met a lovely, decent English flower like Cressida Bonus, like Chelsea Davy. There's still hope, you know, because when I go for a beer with Prince Harry, because at some point I will engineer a cold beer with Prince Harry. I'll try to make it happen when the Mark Dolan show is visiting the United States at the end of this month. And we'll go and have a beer, and we'll have a great American beer, such as Budweiser, which is the king of beers. and we'll loosen things up a bit, and I'll drop some truth bombs, many of them fueled by the comments that you've made, which I read every day and which are the highlight of the show. And I think in the end, they'll get a divorce, obviously. He will need, when Harry, by the way, is single again, which I say that with no pleasure, but it's going to happen. When Harry is single, who do you think he should date next? Because I think he could look for an English aristocrat, somebody like Catherine with real breeding and class. I mean, to be quite honest with you, anyone but Meghan would do it, isn't it? But if he found himself single, I think he could do worse than one of the nice girls that works as a server or a chef at Wendy's. Because I don't know if you know this, if you're new to the show, but Harry is a huge fan of Wendy's, the Wendy Burger, which is America's foremost hamburger chain. Okay, anything else is just a pale imitation. Harry could easily find a nice girl. If he's single, he could head down to the Montecito branch of Wendy's, home of the Wendy Burger, and he could find a nice girl. It could be a bit like Cinderella, because you know with Cinderella, the story is that the prince finds the glass slipper, and he's like, whoever fits this glass slipper, whoever this belongs to is the girl I'll marry. Well, Harry could be at Wendy's. And he could be enjoying a Baconator, which is a classic burger at Wendy's, or maybe chicken nuggets with a spicy sauce. He might be enjoying Dave's single quarter-pound beef with American cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, ketchup, and mayo, right? Dave's single. Or Dave's double, which is 2 beef patties with all the classic toppings. So he's halfway through a Dave's double. And he's like, this is a delicious Dave's double from Wendy's, from the Wendy Burger. Whichever girl made this Dave's double with 2 beef patties with all the classic toppings is the woman I will marry. And then this lovely sweaty girl comes out, and her name will be, what is a classic American name? Let me think. I mean, there are lots of names in America, aren't there? Well, actually, there was a debate on this show about whether Robin is a man or a woman's name. In America, it's both. So I'm going to say it's Robin with a Y. R-O-B-Y-N. Robin comes out and she's like, hi, are you Prince Harry? And he goes, yes, my love, I am. Who are you? And she'll be like, I'm Robin. And I made the Dave's double, which was 2 beef patties with all the classic toppings. He then falls to his knee and says, my love, will you marry me? Then what he's got to do is he's got to fly to wherever Robin's father lives and ask the hand in marriage, which he did not do with poor old Thomas Markle, who is now living in the Philippines, the Filipinas, in a high-rise, which overlooks a 7-lane freeway with environmentally unfriendly cars flying by, keeping the poor guy awake at night. That's Thomas Markle's fate. It's a miserable high-rise in the Filipinas, right? And the 7-lane highway, the guy, not a wink of sleep. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are living in the lap of luxury. So I hope Harry learns from his mistakes. When he finds a new girl, such as Robin, who's on the broiler at Wendy's, the Wendy Burger. What a chain, by the way. America's foremost hamburger chain. Understandably so. And then he gets her hand in marriage and they have a great time. He would do. Don't you think, let me know in the comments, don't you think that Harry would be happier now if he'd married a girl from Wendy's than Meghan? Just a lovely, all-American gal. A beautiful, simple, uncomplicated chick who just wants a ring on her finger and a good man that she can stand by. Stand by your man. Was that Tammy Wynette? I think so. What a tune. What a tune. So that's what you should do. You should just go and find a lady like Robin at the alternative would be, I don't know whether with Wendy's, is Wendy still around? Because, you know, she's a accomplished lady. She's created America's foremost burger chain. Is Wendy from Wendy Burger still around? She's probably in her 80s now, but she'll be well heeled. She won't be after his money. She's got a few dollars in the bank. And as you know, women improve with age. So he could find out if Wendy from Wendy Burgers is still around. beautiful red hair, that luscious red hair. I mean, she's like a double for Lucille Ball. Stranger things have happened. Anyway, there you go. So Harry is bored in California. He's not happy. It's too hot there. He's a ginger. The guy is sweating. And also California is, I think it's too woke for Harry. You know, because I mean, this is a guy, he's not PC, is he? He went to a fancy dress party dressed up as the worst monster in human history. He took drugs, he drank beer, he chased girls. He was in the military. Harry is not woke. And therefore, it's my view that deep down, he misses the United Kingdom. He craves it. He wants it. He is desperate to come home. He's not happy in America. And he needs to be in England, which is why a divorce is inevitable. Because until he's back in his home country, where his roots are, where his family are, where his spirit resides, it's not going to work. Because California was Meghan's choice, not his. He doesn't fit in. And if he's smart, what he should do is come back, not in 2 years and 1 month. He should come back next week. And he should say to his brother, it hasn't worked out. She's a nightmare. Can I sleep in the spare room? And I'm sure William and Catherine have a sofa bed. And aren't they brilliant? Because it's a sofa during the day and then you flip it out and then it's a bed at night. I mean, whoever invented that, OMG. I mean, I mentioned the Model T Ford, but the sofa bed is up there. And Harry can sleep on their sofa and William be like, thank goodness, common sense has prevailed. He's left Meghan. He's on the sofa bed in our little granny flats. And I've got my brother back. And Charles will be like, I've got my son back too. If only. We can but dream. Folks, been great talking. Can I please suggest that you subscribe if you can for Royal Truth Bombs? Also, please like and hit the notification bell so that you're alerted when the next video comes out. Lots and lots of stories brewing for tomorrow already. 4:45 in the UK time, 4:45, 8:45 a.m. on the west coast of America, 11:45 a.m. on the east coast, and late night or early hours down under. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Stay awesome. Bye for now. Stand by your man.